Welcome to video on high voltage engineering for 7th semester electrical engineering. In this video we are going to continue with the 5th unit on measurement of high voltages and currents, and this is the 6th video in the series, and we are going to move ahead with measurement of peak value of AC voltages, and this is first such method to be dealt for measurement of peak value of AC voltages. The method is series capacitor peak reading voltmeter. The learning objectives for this topic are to understand the principle of operation of series capacitor peak voltmeter, then to understand the circuit operation and related waveforms, and lastly identify various sources of errors that might occur in the course of measurement using this particular method. Let us check the circuit diagram and waveforms related to the method. The method is invented or proposed by the scientist engineer chubb-fortescue. So this method, series capacitor peak voltmeter, is also known as chubb-fortescue method. On the left hand side of the slide we can see that the circuit is apparent. It consists of capacitor C connected in series with the unknown high voltage whose peak value is to be measured. There are two diodes present in this circuit, diode D1 as highlighted in the diagram and diode D2. Kindly observe that these two diodes, they are connected in anti-parallel configuration in order to provide AC current path to flow through the capacitor in either half cycle of AC voltage. The next element in the circuit is a protective device which is connected across the ammeter used for the measurement of peak value of high AC voltage. This is a surge arrestor which is provided in order to protect the ammeter, which is a delicate instrument, in case of failure or flashover across main capacitor C. And lastly we have a DC ammeter. It's a moving coil instrument. It measures the DC value of current flowing during the negative half cycle of the supply as it is connected in series with diode D1, which will be forward biased during the negative half of AC supply. The principle of operation can be understood for this particular circuit. Kindly note down that the waveforms on the right hand side, they indicate supply voltage sinusoidal, which is V of t, and it is represented as Vm sin omega t, where Vm is the peak value which we want to determine using this method, and Ic of t, it's a current flowing through the capacitor. We can observe that the current flowing through the capacitor, assuming the capacitor to be lossless, the current will be leading the voltage exactly by angle of 90 degrees. Let us check with the working principle of this method. When capacitor charges through the sinusoidal voltage, the charging current can be expressed as I of C equal to C dV by dt. If this charging current is limited to only 1/2 cycle, and if we are able to measure that 1/2 cycle of capacitor charging current, then the arithmetic mean of this half cycle charging current is found to be proportional to the peak value of sinusoidal voltage. This can be simply expressed with the help of a simple equation. The DC ammeter will read the mean value of current represented by capital I. It is equal to 1 upon T integral IC dt. So I am substituting here IC, that is a capacitor current, as C dV by dt, and then integrating it over a period of half cycle period, because it's a half cycle capacitor charging current, but its mean value is taken over a full cycle of AC supply. Solving this, what we observe is that the voltage across capacitor changes by an extent of twice Vm over the half cycle period for the capacitor charging current, and this can be easily observed from the waveforms shown in the earlier slide. And we can simplify this equation as I equal to twice Fc, where the time period 1 upon T is getting replaced by the frequency of supply, and Vm is the peak value of voltage. And consequently, we can observe that peak value of voltage can be expressed in terms of DC ammeter current reading divided by the factor twice Fc. So the calibration of DC ammeter can be done directly in terms of peak value, provided the supply frequency remains constant and the waveform is sinusoidal, and so also the value of capacitance remains constant throughout the measurement range of voltage. So this is the basic operating principle of a peak reading series capacitor peak voltmeter. This method is suggested as we cannot use a simple RMS reading voltmeter and then calibrate its scale to read the peak value directly by a multiplying factor of √2, because if the voltage is unbalanced or non-sinusoidal, then a simple RMS reading voltmeter will not be able to provide the desired output measurement. So kindly remember this equation, that maximum value or peak value of voltage to be measured is equal to I upon twice Fc. Okay. Let us now understand the circuit operation. The maximum dielectric strength of insulator, it depends upon the peak value of AC voltages in the electric circuits. Hence, determination of peak value of AC voltages is to be done through suitable method, but measuring peak value of AC voltages based on the RMS value will give an error if the waveforms are non-sinusoidal. Secondly, let us understand that the capacitor, when it charges through the half wave sinusoidal voltage, the arithmetic mean of charging current is proportional to the peak value of AC voltage. So this is what we have understood from the circuit diagram and the principle as well, and this method is contributed by chubb-fortescue. Hence the name of the method is the chubb-fortescue method. The diode D1 is used to rectify the capacitor charging current during negative half cycle of voltage, while diode D2, it bypasses the positive half cycle. so that capacitor is carrying an AC current while the DC ammeter is measuring a rectified half cycle current. This method can be applied to AC voltages having a balanced sinusoidal voltage waveform in either half cycle. In case of presence of harmonics or any disturbances, it may lead to multiple peaks, and in that case this method will fail to give the correct results. So let us understand what is the meaning of multiple peak voltage waveforms. Kindly observe the supply voltage waveform V of t along with charging capacitor charging current or capacitor current IC of t visible in this sample waveform. We can observe that during the positive half cycle of supply voltage, which is expected to be sinusoidal, but due to some harmonics or some other factors, disturbances, the voltage is seen to be having multiple peaks. So the primary peak is one which is having a maximum value of Vm, but there is a false maxima. The second peak is also there. So due to the presence of multiple peaks, we can observe that the current undergoes a reversal of polarity during the same half cycle period. In this case, we can see the highlighted portion of capacitor current during the negative half cycle of voltage, where it is expected that current should have remained with the same polarity as in the smooth sinusoidal waveform case. Here current is undergoing reversal of polarity during the negative half cycle, and so also we can see the similar phenomena occurring during the positive half cycle with intervals marked between time small t1 and t2. Since the current is undergoing a reversal of polarity during the same half cycle, the DC ammeter, which is measuring the arithmetic mean of one half cycle current, will indicate a net current slightly smaller than what is actually flowing through the capacitor, and hence the peak value measured by the DC ammeter will not be a correct value, it will be understated. So this is the effect of the multiple peak voltage waveform. Let us now enumerate these points in terms of error in measurement due to multiple peaks. First and foremost is that we have mentioned, due to multiple peaks in voltage, the charging current will change the polarity multiple times within the same half cycle period. It was indicated with the shaded area that there is a reverse current during the negative half cycle, and hence that amount of current indicated by the shaded area will be subtracted from the net current. Thus the peak value indicated will be less than the actual. Further, the additional source of error is the voltage drop due to the pre-discharge current in the circuit. So this is the second source of error that might be present, but again it will be presenting itself in the form of multiple peaks. Is the pre-discharge current in the circuit. It will cause a voltage drop, and this can be taken care by using a resistance in series, by using an additional resistance in series with the capacitor, such that the discharge time constant is very small as compared to the time period of the AC voltage. And since the additional resistance, if it is included, then the measurement over a complete range will be affected with a small amount of error. To minimize this error, the value of a resistance should be kept as small as possible, and this error can be calculated as delta V upon V, or it will be V minus Vm upon V, wherein Vm is the measured value and V is the actual value of voltage that is uh, available across the peak. Okay, so Vm is the measured value of peak and V is the actual value of peak. Let us now move to the various other sources of errors in measurement that may be encountered in this particular series capacitor peak reading voltmeter. First and foremost will be the effective value of capacitor. We have seen earlier that the DC current measured by the ammeter, it is a function of supply frequency, capacitors, capacitance and the peak value of voltage. So the peak value of unknown voltage will be proportional to the current provided the capacitor value remains constant, as we have seen from the equation earlier. But the value of capacitor may vary, okay, from the rated value due to several reasons like the aging, the voltage level, the supply frequency variations, presence of harmonics. So capacitor might be affected and hence the measurements may have error due to change in the value of capacitance. Secondly, the rectifier elements are involved, diode D1 and D2. In measurement of DC current, it is assumed that the current will be flowing only during the forward biasing cycle of the rectifier element diode D1. But if diode D1 also conducts during the reverse bias condition with a small leakage current, in that case again the measurements will be affected. Third, the multiple peaks in the non-sinusoidal waveform that we have discussed in detail in the earlier part of this video. And lastly, any variation in the supply frequency. Supply frequency also doesn't remain constant with the variation in the load condition in the electrical power system. Supply frequency also undergoes a slight variation, and this will equally affect the measurements, as the equation which relates peak value to the arithmetic mean current also has a factor dependent on the supply frequency. So these are the various sources of error which are observed in measurement of series capacitance peak reading voltmeter. So we come to the summary of what we have learned in this particular topic. First and foremost, we have realized that series capacitor peak voltmeter works on the principle of measuring the arithmetic mean of rectified current. Secondly, the current is obtained from the half cycle charging of series capacitance from the unknown AC voltage, that is to be whose peak value is to be measured. If the voltage is non-sinusoidal or it has got some harmonic components present, then it may have multiple peaks causing error in the measurements. The other sources of errors that may be experienced in this type of method are deviation in the value of capacitance, deviation in the supply frequency, and voltage drop due to the pre-discharge current in the circuit. So keeping these sources of error in mind, some changes, some new methods are always expected, or some new methods have emerged which takes care of this. So the further studies that will be explained in the upcoming videos, they would be addressing these issues as far as the measurement of peak value is concerned for the AC voltages. So we come to the end of this particular video. I hope that you have understood what I want to convey through this. Uh, if you have any queries, then kindly share them during the live session. Thanks for watching.